What is going on? What is going on? So as usual, I don't really care about intros. So had a chill day at work, which is good. Nothing too crazy. And girl's out with the little one for a little bit with her parents. So I have roughly maybe either 2 hours, which is why I figured I start with Final Fantasy. And if they decide to, she might decide to stay there because her mom has some issues going on, so she might stay there tonight to help her dad out. And if that's the case, then I will do a race or two afterwards, around maybe 9 o'clock. Or I think there's an IMSA race at 8:45, so we'll see how it plays out. But either way, I'm gonna play this for at least 2 hours. So with that out the way, I guess I have some unintentional free time today, so I guess I'll just play some Final Fantasy and kill some time that way. But now I believe we're trying to figure out who caused the riots. We're going to do our own investigation, so we'll see what's going on. We killed Leviathan, and now pretty much we're dealing with old just had a riot, and we're dealing with that as far as story is concerned. They said there's also another primal that they think's about to be summoned, so I'm kind of wondering why we're dealing with this over the primal, but hey, I don't write the story. Friend of the Sultanate, are we? I take it this means someone has read my report. The refugee who left with the merchant have yet to return. I am increasingly concerned that Zazawaka's suspicions were correct. You haven't the foggiest of what I'm talking about, do you? Never mind. Speak with Zazawaka. He will explain everything. And what brings you here, adventurer? A search for refugees? Well, then you come to the right place. Ah, you mean those refugees. Oh no, you won't find them here. Most of the people of Lost Hope have come to accept their situation and are content to pass their days in peace and quiet. Outsiders have trouble understanding that, like a merchant who passed through recently. Gracious, gregarious fellow? But awfully opinionated. Can't say I was sad to see him go. I haven't seen that word before. Probably said it wrong, but it's alright. Blame American education. Ah, don't hurt me. I'm not one of them. I beg your pardon. You're not a flame. I see. If Leofric bid you speak with me, then I take it you've agreed to help. So I'll be praised for that, because we haven't a moment to waste. Everyone knows the flames are on the march. The others have fallen under the fanatic spell, but not I. Promise of revolution and retribution, of holding the ruling class to account and taking that which is owed. Ha! A childish fantasy. I did everything I could to dissuade the others from leaving, but a few would heed my words. Now that one of our idealists has returned, however, the madness of the merchant's plan is plain for all to see. Look behind yonder tent, and you will understand why. Even now, he babbles incoherently, so traumatized is he by the bloodshed he witnessed. Try as I might, I can make little sense of the words beyond the fact that he was not alone in surviving. Yet I've no doubt that the merchant will lead the remainder to their doom. I beg of you, find them before he does. Well, what are you doing? Don't draw. Don't draw. Don't draw. Don't draw. Why didn't you run away with me? We could have escaped together. Then you'd be with me. Be here to soothe me. Why didn't you stay and leave me alone? So I gotta soothe him. Oh, I didn't even realize that. Okay, so this might not. Who are you? What do you want? Ah, it's true. I followed the merchant, and may God strike me down for my folly. What they will not, what they will not give, you must take, he said. When we asked how, he revealed a cache of weapons he had brought to implore us to seize control of our fates. I thought about running then and there, but those others were so excited. He split us into two groups, set us off on our own. But when the flames found us, we didn't know what to do. Our leader tried to parley with theirs, but when they started arguing, and then started fighting, and then everyone was fighting, and the flames were shouting to give no quarter, and oh, the gods, the other group, they're still out there. If we don't stop them, they'll be massacred like mine was. A 110 ring. Ooh, what level are the rings I have? That one's not 110. Do I have one with tenacity? I think that, yep, there we go. Upgrade. The other refugees are hiding in the caves south of Lost Hope, but to approach them would be fruitless. They would sooner call us agents of the Sultanate and try to kill us than listen to reason. Why, the twins might even deign to do the deed themselves. A pox on all bloody sellswords. They were supposed to train us to fight, but the ones he sent with us vanished during the struggle. Oh, if only he never listened to that merchant's ridiculous claims. He said our cause was righteous. By the gods, would suffer to be defeated. Though if they were forced to confront reality, that's it. Challenge the twins to combat to show my brethren that their strongest warriors are no match for one man. Sorry. Mayhap then they will agree to lay down their arms and renounce this plot. South of the spire. Actually, no, it's right there. I'm looking at the wrong spot of the map for where I am. Actually, real fast, I do gotta fix one thing. Settings, where's this button at? Wait, what? Here. See what's going on? Here we go. Keep forgetting that OBS likes to just minimize itself for some reason, so I have to do a pop-out chat just in case someone comes in. I'm not gonna be able to see what's going on. Where do I gotta go here? There we go. Seven Hells, they found us. Everyone, grab your gear and make for the rendezvous point. So that's your game, is it? Ah, sorry to disappoint you, lad, but we're more than willing to kill you ourselves. Got a lot of health. Gotta disable their enemy nameplates. It's just too much. Can't really see what's going on. I gotta disable my name in combat too. So let me do that real fast. Character or systems? I think it was systems, right? It's character. Yeah, it's supposed to be out of combat. I want to say it. We'll just do never. I don't need my own name shown, I suppose, right? Will that turn it off? Yeah, that's fine. Oh, I gotta do the pet too. I didn't hit character that time. No, I did. There we go. Companions. Out of combat. You know what? Never. Whoops. Pets. Never. There we go. Not sure which one that's going to be. A little hard to see sometimes what's going on with combat with all the nameplates. I don't know why the nameplate text of the enemy's names or my name is just so big. Like this is fine, like during a cutscene, but in combat that's just too much. He beat him like it was nothing. Phil Almighty, what are we going to do now? That's all I was supposed to do. You've returned. Did you find my brethren? What are the twins? What happened? I see. Well, you had no choice. Better that than a handful of them take a beating from you than a lot getting butchered by the flames. Tell me, what did the merchant have to say when it was over? Huh? But where else would he be? Unless he went to Stone's Throw to recruit others. Don't need any of them. Merchant wished to approach the refugees in Stone's Throw, but was waiting until the flames withdrew their forces from the vicinity. Now that they have, there's nothing to stop him from continuing his work. How many more must perish in the pursuit of this futile cause? How much more suffering must we endure before it ends? Find him, convince him to cease his mad quest. It will surely lead us to ruin. Even look where I gotta go. All the way down there. We'll say though, this game did have a massively slow start, but I feel like ever since I hit like level 40 MSQ, it's been pretty decent so far. Say dealing with the refugees is probably the calmest thing I've done since level 40 MSQ. Everything else has been pretty much the Asians and Primals. Have you seen my parents? They told me to stay here with the others. They'd say they'd be back soon, but it's been days. They left with the man from Ul'dah. The man said they were going to change everything, make it so we can live inside the walls with everyone else. I liked it when he said that. I didn't like when he talked about making the rich people pay. Everyone looked so angry, and I got scared. Say, mister, are you looking for someone? Looking for a merchant. You mean the man who left with my parents? But I don't know where he... Wait, look over there, that's him. Well now, which of these gullible fools shall be my next victim? You, He's getting away. Get him, mister. This dude doesn't know I hit level 50 yet. Just fly. literally trying to run away from a helicopter right now. What are you doing? You again? Why are you pursuing me? Mind you, run away when you see me. Sedation, treason, revolution. That's preposterous. Who has filled your head with these lies? Refugees? The self-same refugees who terrorized the streets of Ul'dah? Ha! You have no evidence to prove your accusations. None. No, no, I will not accompany you to the Hall of Flames. You have no right to detain me. For the sake of the argument, let us say I did do the things you claim. Surely you don't think I give a quick horns arse about politics. It was business. Only business. You both know I'm not the one you want. However, if you agree to protect me, I swear I shall tell you everything. Well, that dude had a bow. I'm guessing this guy's getting offed. Yup, seen that coming. What's all this commotion? 7 hells. Tell the others to spread out and search the area. The killer may still be close. Well, at least they didn't accuse me. That's what I assumed was going to happen right off the bat. Hold it, Venture. I would like to know more about your relationship with the victim as the events leading up to his death. This man was responsible for the recent riots. Mayhaps we owe his murderer a debt of gratitude. In any case, it's obvious we are not the one whom we seek. You may carry on with your investigation, Scion. Okay, he knows I'm with the Scion, so I guess that makes sense. I wasn't sure if we were with the, who exactly we were dealing with right there for a second. Wait, where do I gotta go? I'm not even paying attention. Back to the main city. Alright, I'll teleport. Be faster. Okay, this was faster. I forgot the flames hole is literally right next to this thing. Can I, like, jump up here and just not run around? That's awesome. What news? Where is the merchant? Dead. Murdered by the 7th hells. He was not simply murdered, he was silenced. Too many knew his face, and he was ready to divulge his secrets. Do not despair, though. We may be closer to identifying the true orchestrator of these riots than you realize. Oh, new neck piece upgrade. Let me see what I got. I wish I could just hit C in this menu and see, like, what I was wearing. I have one that's 110 already. This has more stats to it. This has skill speed with it. Yeah, so this is still an upgrade. Alright, yeah, that was still an upgrade. 20, 20, 21, 20, 20, yeah, this is an upgrade. It has more skill speed. I don't know why I didn't equip it. I guess it doesn't see it as an upgrade. Revolution. The Flame General left the word that you were to proceed to the fragment chamber as soon as you return. He wishes to discuss your recent discoveries as well as the result of your own investigation. Master Alphanel has already been informed and should be waiting for you outside. Pray proceed to the Royal Promenade with all haste and speak with Bartholomew. I can't even say his name. I gotta use the crystal. I go back this way. Why is that in red? I don't know. Maybe they always been red. For some reason I just noticed it was. All I saw was you will watch your tongue. I didn't know what was going on there for a second. Bartholomew. We've been expecting you, sir. Please proceed inside. Take the money because I don't need none of them next. It's for the casters. Please be a voiced cutscene.
Commander Swift has kept us apprised of your recent activities. You've made great strides towards quelling the violence.
Despite our best efforts to determine what provoked this uprising, the truth continues to elude us. Have you uncovered aught which might shed some light on the mystery?
This information does not leave this room.
Telling everybody.
The Syndicate's decision to reject the Doman refugees' appeal for asylum had lasting repercussions. A number of those displaced by the calamity claimed it was proof of a policy of discrimination. Together with a group of Alamegan refugees, they organized a series of demonstrations to protest against the Sultanate. Demonstrations which became heated, but did not descend into violence. Until a certain incident served as a call to arms.
A unit of brass blades sent to supervise a demonstration loosed arrows upon unarmed protesters. It was this atrocity which prompted the refugees to take up arms. I need not tell you what followed.
We assumed at first that the attack was born of a miscommunication. When emotions run high, they happen. But suspicions were raised regarding the unit's commanding officer, whom I ordered interrogated. Sure enough, our fears were soon confirmed. The dog confessed that a merchant had offered him coin to give the order. A merchant in the employ of Teleji Adeleji.
Teleji Adeleji. But he spoke in favor of the Doman's cause, and has ever seemed sympathetic towards the refugees' plight. Why would he do such a thing?
Know you of the Cartano Reclamation Bill? It is a proposal to annex the Cartano Flats so that refugees may establish permanent settlements.
When last I looked, that was disputed territory.
Aye. Some might even call it a battlefield. The destruction wrought by Bahamut was greatest at the Cartano Flats. That much is common knowledge. What is less well known is that his rampage laid bare ancient Alagon ruins, of which no record existed. There are certain differences of opinion as to how these ruins should be handled, which is why each nation maintains a military presence in the region to this day. Yet differ though we may, we are still allies. Therefore, in the interest of preserving the Eorzean alliance, we have reached an agreement. Any conflict which may arise during the course of military exercises in the region shall have no bearing on relations between our nations.
It's just a
In
free-for-all.
full knowledge of this delicate state of affairs, Teleji Adeleji proposed the Cartano Reclamation Bill. A shameless bloody ruse which stands to benefit him in but one conceivable way. If successful, he will gain control over the disputed territory under the guise of assisting in the resettlement effort. And you can be sure he'll build an orphanage next to every Alagon ruin.
The man would threaten the unity of the Eorzean alliance and risk countless lives for personal gain.
He walks a path all his own, independent of any faction and beholden to none of his fellows on the Syndicate.
By inciting the less fortunate to violence, he hopes to convince others that the Cartano Reclamation Bill is the only viable solution. His sympathy for the plight of the Domans was not but posturing to gain credibility with the refugees. Of that there can be no doubt.
Forgive me, but what could possibly motivate Teleji Adeleji to go to such lengths? What is so special about these ruins that he would risk his position on the Syndicate, and, most likely, charges of treason against the
This
Sultanate?
is my first thought: is why would he do it? Like, what's up with the ruins?
Omega.
Pardon?
An Oligon monstrosity, not unlike the Ultima weapon. Mayhap larger, we know not. It has yet to be fully excavated. Oligon inscriptions indicate that it was created to fell Bahamut himself. If accurate, it might explain why Nail Van Darnus chose to bring the Red Moon down upon the Cartano Flats. Given the ends he went to ensure Eorzea's annihilation, destroying the one weapon which could stay the Elder Primal may well have seemed like good sense.
When first I bore witness to the power of the Ultima weapon, I doubted the evidence of my senses. And now you tell me there is another such weapon. One which could contend with Bahamut. Bahamut!
What was that noise? Heard something. The one that can 1v1 Bahamut? That sounds wild.
Aye, we were skeptical ourselves. Truth be
I see
told,
why they have a military
until the
presence
Ultima
there.
weapon's existence came to light, we thought the inscription had been mistranslated.
At present, Omega is more akin to a fossil than a tool of war, having long since ceased to function. As such, its true potential cannot accurately be gauged. However, if someone were to restore it, as the Garleans did the Ultima weapon, I have little doubt that he would wield untold power.
Power enough to subjugate Uldar like as not, and the rest of Eorzea besides, which is doubtless why Teleji Adeleji yearns to have it.
That he should aspire to world domination. He who has ever walked 2 paces behind Lord Lolorito in matters of commerce.
'Tis in acknowledgement of his own limitations that he seeks this power. Woe betide us all should we allow him to have it.
Pray waste no time chasing rats. Only a fool would believe that secrets can be kept in Uldar.
It would seem the implications of the Sultanate's refugee problem are rather more far-reaching than we assumed.
Should be glad to know the truth, and yet the thought that all this chaos was produced by one man's lust for power sickens me. How long do you think they intend to hide the existence of Omega from the Scions? That they never felt the need to do so is most troubling. It would be in our best interest to learn more of the military activities in the disputed territories. You are, of course, the Scions best suited to this task. Private Stormless, do take a moment to visit the Maelstrom Command and make inquiries at the earliest available opportunity. Be going, whelp. This is no place for children. I'm sorry. I was looking for you, mister. You said you were looking for the man who left with my parents. Do you know this girl? Though he visited Stone's Throw as well, I see. Did you find the man? Were my parents with him? They were not, I am afraid. However, I can think of several places they might be. If you like, we can go and look for them together. Really? You help me look, mister? Of course, but first, I must needs finishing speaking with my friend. He's telling me a secret, you see, and no one else is allowed to listen. Mayhap you can wait for me by the pillar over there? We require but a moment. Okay, mister, I'll be waiting. I'll take her to the quicksand. Mayhaps Mamandi will know what to do. A legion of Garlands, an Aether-starved primal. Even dealing with an Ascian would be preferable to this charade. Sometimes I fear Minfilia is too ambitious. We rush hither and yon in response to threats as they arise, without concern for the strain it places on limited resources and ourselves. Mayhap the time has come for change. This is Minfilia. I know this is sudden, but I must ask you to return to Revenant's Toll with all due haste. The situation in Twelveswood has taken a turn for the worse. I will explain in detail once you arrive. Twelveswood? Then the primal threat that you spoke of before has been confirmed. I have received reports of Ixalia activity which leaves the Sylphs. Go. You know as well as I that the appearance of a primal takes precedent over all else. Oh, and when you arrive, do inform the Antecedent that while I am grateful for her concern, she needn't fear for my safety. I am more than capable of protecting myself. The rising stone. So I'm gonna teleport here real fast. Give me 1 second. I want to grab a drink. Forgot to grab a drink before I sat down. I'm back. All right. Died. Second, I looked like someone was outside that I had to talk to. It is a relief to see you healthy and hale. I'm guessing that's supposed to be whole. The latest news from Old Dal was most disturbing. Clearly, the only injury Alphinaud suffered was his ego. Doubtless, it will heal ere long. The other scions will need to be present for this meeting. If you are ready to begin, I will summon them now. So this is a bracelet. Oh, it worked that time. I do need a better bracelet, so... Is there a tank one? It's exactly the same. Wait, I put that other ring back on. Switch something else. Yeah, change this one. This one's better. That's weird. Thank you for responding to my call with such haste. Rest assured, I should not have summoned you if it were not urgent. To business then. I've received the most disturbing news from the Order of the Twin Adder. They have reason to believe that the Sylphs may have called forth their reverend guardian, the primal Ramu, I think it was. I'm sorry, may have? Then it is not certain? The Elder Ceasier informs us that the elementals themselves murmur of the Lord of Levin's return to the forest. The Sylphlands, however, display no signs of undue commotion. Forgive me, Antecedent, but the fact need not contradict the elemental's testimony. Unlike the more bellicose, I guess, compeers, Garuda and so on, Ramu, I think is? Yeah, Ramu? I don't know. I'm just going to say Ramu. Is reputed to act only in the defense of his children. I imagine he would soon make his presence known if any were foolish enough to directly engage the Sylphs in their own territory. The abruptness of this development concerns me. Were we not keeping a close watch on the touched ones and their movements? In preparation for summoning ritual, we were indeed underway. Wait, what? If preparations for a summoning ritual were indeed underway, it would surely not have escaped your notice. Oh, it didn't. I'm pretty sure it was going to happen, just not this soon. I beg your pardon, you foresaw this eventuality and did naught to prevent it? I told Papa Limo, I suppose. I could have reported things to Minfilia earlier, but there honestly wasn't much we could do except wait and see. You know how the Siths feel about people poking around in their territory. They already summoned Ramu once, right? After the calamity? But that was because the Garleans came trampling through their forest. So long as Castrum Orange stands, the Sylphs cannot be blamed for wishing to have their guardian deity on hand. In short, Eden and I are in agreement. The actions of the forest folk were inevitable and unavoidable. And I maintain that observation would have remained the best policy had it not been for the sudden influx of strangers into the Black Shroud. That, alas, we did not foresee. By all accounts, the recent violence in Uldal drove a number of refugees to seek safety under the concealing canopy of the trees. It's like the Sylphs perceived this panicked migration as yet others' invasions. Oh, as another invasion. And quickened their efforts to summon their god. I am put in mind of Titan and the Kobolds. Once again, it is their affairs of men which have paved the way for a primal's coming. Indeed, one cannot help but wonder what manner of place Eorzea would be without the civilizing influence of mankind. Be that as it may, this regrettable development does afford us a unique opportunity. Though your dealings with the Sylphs of little solace, you once succeeded in preventing the untimely conflict with Gridania. I wonder, might the one who treated the Sylphs so fruitfully in the past not achieve similar success with their patron deity? If Rumal can be convinced of our intentions, it may be the first step to breaking the cycle of primal summoning. A fond hope were such a thing possible. We would not have been at war with the Beastmen since the time immemorial. But maybe this time we can. Let us continue this discussion anon. We must needs first consult with the nations most affected by Ramuh's presence. The Elder CCR has requested your personal involvement. Pray report to Command Helix at the Adder's Nest as soon as you are able. Steel yourself for the worst. While I hope for a peaceful resolution to this matter, experience suggests that your meeting with the Lord of Levin will prove less than amicable. In such an event, your fellow Scions, of course, will lend whatever support you require. Lord of Levin. Ooh. Ignorant of the signs, your arrival has been most anticipated. The appearance of a primal is ever calls for alarm and unease. Though my men stand ready for any eventuality, I know of none more qualified than you to snuff out the threat. Indeed, I would have you do so without delay. The elder seats here, however, would speak with you first. She is of the opinion that your diplomatic rather than martial skills may better serve our cause. I will leave further explanation to our learned leader. Pray make your way to the Nephisa's altar. The conjurer in attendance will admit you to the Lotus Strand. Am I being debated? I click this, it tells me to go to Old Gridania, and then it tells me to go back. Oh, I gotta go down here. Why is it that? That's so strange.
Scions of the Seventh Dawn, on behalf of the people of Gridania, I bid you welcome. Your presence is of great comfort to us all in these days of uncertainty. I summoned you here to share tidings of a most urgent nature. But a short while ago, the great elemental spoke, and his voice was clarion in its intensity. Scarce had his words ceased to echo in mine ears when we were visited by an emissary from Little Solace. Our guest informs us that the sylphs too have sensed the presence of the Lord of Levin. Though his exact whereabouts remain unknown, we may safely assume that the primal was summoned within the heart of the Sylphlands. Unlike the other primals you have encountered, Lord Ramuh is no raging avatar of destruction. He is revered as much for his wisdom as his strength, serving as both arbiter and guardian to his children. Given that we and the Sylphs found a way to share the Twelves Wood, it is my hope that this sagely immortal will be amenable to reason, and that conflict may be avoided. Blessed as you are with the power of the echo, you are one of the few among us who may commune with a primal without fear of influence. I would ask, therefore, that you represent us in this most delicate of negotiations. The Twelves Wood has suffered enough. Upon this, we and the Sylphs, and I would venture Lord Ramu himself, are in perfect accord. Let us not endanger our shared home by engaging in unnecessary hostilities. Dear friend, I beseech you, safeguard the peace which exists between our peoples. You have my thanks. Pray make for little solace, then. A member of the Order of the Twin Adder awaits you there. He will advise you on how to find the Lord of Levin. An ill wind blows through the forest. Yet, it is not only the Twelves Wood that flinches at its coming. All the lands Veorzia shiver in dread anticipation. Have care.
Right, do little solace then. Or talking. I'm sure that's not how it's gonna end up. Sure, we're still gonna have to fight this guy. Ba-ba. Why did my, so why is my, gas bar showing up? That was weird. I just realized that down there when I went to look at my action bars. I was told to expect you. I understand you go to treat the... I keep saying this as a... I thought I was saying threat and that just didn't make sense. I understand you go to treat with the primal Rumal himself. An uninevitable task, but for one which I have no doubt you are well suited. I hate when they talk in this old tongue, man. It's like everything's backwards in the way we're trained to talk now. I have been told that your fellow Scions are conducting an investigation of the area as we speak, that we might ascertain the location where Lord of Levin might be found. I would ask that you abide here until they return with their findings. Suppose they're back now. I was told that a messenger would be sent as soon as your fellow Scions finish their investigation. I do not imagine it will be much longer. This one returns, and returns with good tidings. Wise ones have finished searching, and have wisely identified the precise location where the Touched Ones summoned Lord Ramu. Your timing is impeccable, my fluttery friend. Might you be so kind as to escort this man and his fellow Scions? It would be this one's pleasure, Walking One. Please, please, come with this one. Fly all over this, which makes it even better. It was probably cooler back in the day when you would be flying somewhere and then you see everyone fighting stuff underneath you because it's probably actually populated with players. Wise ones have ventured deep within Sylphlands. These ones must proceed carefully and keep an eye out for touched ones. Well, good news for me is I can just fly over it all. so we won't have to worry about that. This one is sorry, but this one can go no further. Draw too close to Lord Ramu, and this one may turn mean and nasty like the touched ones. And so this one must say farewell for now, walking one. We'll find wise ones not so far from here, to the south. Go in safety, walking one. Up. Force aggro, probably. So it's actually you. I am relieved. For a moment, I thought you were dealing with another one of those confounded sylph tricksters. I swear, with them wreaking havoc with their skin-changing magics, it's a wonder I was able to finish taking my measurements. Yes, it was quite the ordeal. You should have seen the look on Ishtola's face when the one impersonating you suddenly showed up. That's quite enough, Papalymo. Ahem, my apologies. It's not like me to ramble so. At any rate, I was saying, I have finished measuring etheric activity in the area, and I am pleased to say that I have reached an indisputable conclusion, to wit that Ramu was called forth in the vicinity of the Sylph's aetherite. Come, the Lord of Levin awaits. Is that not connected? Okay, I see how that works. I was gonna say, what, weren't we like right there? But I forgot I can fly, so that's why it seemed that way. Oh, cutscene.
Thine order betrays thee, servant of hiding.
Oh wow, he knows.
Thou art the bringer of light, bane of Ifrit, Titan, Garuda, and Leviathan.
Correct.
I am Ramu, guardian of the children of the forest. Thou tramplest upon sacred soil, bringer of light. By what right doth man intrude in this sanctuary of the sylphs? The Gridanians proffer peace? Their words are born of delusion, thine offer an insult. Thou speakest of harmony, yet carest naught for my children's desires. They did but wish to dwell beneath these boughs in solitude. Yet even that was too much to ask of man.
What's up, Jack?
Thus did they turn to me for succor. The sentence I pronounce upon thy kind is just. Gridanian or Garlean, it matters not. The good intent of one excuseth not the misdeeds of the other. Thy conflicts have brought naught but anguish and misery unto the forest. All blame doth lie with the darkness that resideth in the breast of man. Whence sprung this calamitous seed? In the beginning no such duality existed. Were light and dark given form when man was born? It would explain much. Not least why strife and sorrow follow ever in thy wake. Thou canst not deny the urgings of thine own nature. Knowing that thy mere presence here portendeth tragedy, wilt thou persist in this pretense of peacemaking? Thou bearest the crystal which I bestowed upon my wayward charges. That they should entrust so precious a gift to thee. Thou standest apart from thy kin. Thou art the bringer of light, aye. But there is something more in thee.
My cats are having a royal rumble.
Very well. I shall consider thy proposal, shouldst thou survive my trial. If thou wouldst champion the cause of harmony, I must have proof that thou art fit to play the role. Wither mine ire, and prove to me thereby that thou hast strength enough to stay the darkness which threateneth to consume thee. Yet if thou shouldst be found wanting, know that all men shall perish in the storm of my judgment. Come to me, bringer of light. I shall await thee on the field of battle.
Very important mechanics.
Urianger,
Oh, they're still
it
going
is
on the
rare
cutscene.
indeed to find you so far from a tome.
I love the night vision sound.
The Lord of Levin himself. Never till this day had I looked upon his visage, save in painted renderings made faint by time. Ever shall this scene remain etched in my mind's eye. Beg pardon, my lady.
He still has class.
I must beg thine aid on a point of research. If thou art resolved to face Lord Ramu, I would ask thy leave to observe the event.
Always look up a quick guide video too. If it's something I can if it's something that's gonna be a little difficult. Where's my what is going on my internet? In the window. This video is 2 minutes long. I guess the guide I guess it's not that bad maybe.
He's not a bad dude, just one of those prove your worth kind of bosses. Please like and subscribe. I'm releasing guides for every story dungeon and trial in the game, so you always know what's coming. Let's get started. This fight really only requires one tank, so the off tank should just play like a DPS. One of the first things you'll notice is that this guy casts Thunderstorm a lot. It will target a few random players and a few random places on the floor, and you will see electric circles. Players should spread apart to avoid overlap. Where it strikes the floor, it will leave behind electric orbs. Ramu will periodically afflict random players with terror marked by a big orange target on the player, freezing them in place for 40 seconds. This terror can be removed by other players by running the Thunderstorm Circle to a frozen player, which will free them when it strikes. So keep an eye out for frozen players and drop them a Thunderstorm if you get the chance. Thunder Spark is a simple circular AoE damage ability that has a marker and is easily avoidable. Shock Strike is a spell that hits the tank for moderate damage and anyone near him for severe damage. For this reason, everyone should avoid being near the tank for the entire fight, and the tank should not run around helping kill adds or doing anything else. Rolling Thunder is a spell that tethers two players together with lightning, and every action they take will damage them as long as they're tethered. To remove the tether, one of the players needs to run through 3 electric orbs. Around 60%, he will spawn 3 stationary adds called Grey Arbiters. These adds need to be killed ASAP, or else Ramuh's upcoming Judgment Bolt will wipe everyone. If all 3 Grey Arbiters are dead, the damage from Judgment Bolt is very minor. Near the end of the fight, another single Grey Arbiter will spawn, but this one can be ignored. And that's it for the striking tree, hard. Have a blast, and I'll see you next time.
Well, that's not bad. I'm not queued up for anything like I was last time. 1 of 5 selected. Alright, oh. You can go. Sorry, you're the leader. Here we go. I'm good, see? And you're in here as a tank. See, I can do nothing. It said the alt tank does nothing. I take the... Yeah, it looks like a tank and spank, and then just pick up the adds, I guess, during that one phase where we gotta kill all 3. I'm the main tank. Alright, well then I stand still and do nothing. It looks like... It didn't look like there was much, like I said, this mainly seemed pretty much tank and spank. It's more so the DPS that has to pay attention to all the stuff going on around this time around. Because obviously if I get the tether on me, the DPS is going to have to run around and collect the Jones. I can't be running around with the boss. Oh, okay. That'd be funny though to get. So when you say terror, like it's like a fear, like it'll fear you and you just run and you can't do anything. Or what do you mean? What do you mean, like the tether thing? Oh, that thing. Yeah, yeah. We gotta run over. So I'm pretty much, I'm gonna get hit by his AoE attack, or like no matter what, since I gotta tank him, or do I run out when that little circle around them pops up too? So I thought it said this kind of stay in place. There it goes. Okay, that's good. I think Oh no, Steam popped. I was gonna say, did my game just crash? Oh, okay, I see what you're saying now. Things look cool. Assuming there probably won't be much of a story to this one, because it just said it's a trial. It should just be a fight. I guess they're just showing me the fight scene this time, or the stage, arena, whatever. Had to make an entrance, didn't he? Oh, damn, he looks different. Or I just didn't notice the robe before. Here we go again with my taskbar coming up. There we go. I can't see my... What is going on? I can't see my... Can't see the bottom of my screen. Why is it doing that? That's really unfortunate because I need to see my abilities. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Why does Windows keep trolling me right now? Second time I got hit by that. It's the second time in a row I'm getting sold by this game. Like, why all of a sudden is my Windows stick popping up? I have to stay in tank them, right? I don't have to worry about the ads if they stay in place. Yeah, this just sucks. I can't see my abilities at the bottom. I don't know why my Windows is trolling me. That's the second time I do a fight and I get like some crazy thing going on that's like preventing me from like doing what I want to do. I don't even like I'm cooking the game, like I don't know how to make it go away. Because I have my taskbar set to be minimized at all times. I don't even want the taskbar to ever be even visible, so I don't know why it's now there and not minimized. I swear, man. It's always when OBS is running. It never happens when I don't stream. It's insanely distracting because I know I got a defensive button down here, but I don't know what it is. I don't know. I'll just press it anyway. I can't. I don't know what's going on. I can't tell if things are on cooldown or not. Oh, fuck. Now watch, and if the fight's over, it's going to minimize and go away. Like, oh, no problem. No, it's still there, buggy. What is this? This... I guess I gotta go to my taskbar settings, but I don't know. Yeah, automatically hide the taskbar. I don't ever want it seen. I don't understand. Get it. Now it goes away. I didn't even do anything. It just went. Now it just goes away. No, I didn't lie. I don't. It just popped up. I couldn't see the entire bottom row of my action bar. I couldn't tell what. I don't know. At least I could just stand there and tank. That was weird. I've never had that happen before. It's the first time it happened my entire playthrough. Yeah, I have it set to where my taskbar doesn't do anything. I don't ever want it to be seen. It's just annoying. As soon as the fight started, like literally as soon as we went in combat, it pops up. I was just like, what?
The task of excising the sin that hath taken root in man's heart is thine. Shrink not from employing thy strength in service to the forest and the wider realm beyond. Like hungering shadows do the enemies of harmony gather, and meekness will but feed them. If man is to be delivered from the dark, it shall be by thy guiding light alone. Stray not from the path, for if thou dost, thy people shall be truly lost.
So is I guess not all primals are evil, because this guy didn't seem like a bad guy.
Thou hast slain the Lord of Levin. A regrettable act, but a necessary one. In witnessing thy struggle, a truth hath been revealed unto me. If I mistake not, it may yet prove a chink in the eternal armor of the Ascians. But let us conclude our present business. I shall expound upon my findings at the Rising Stones anon.
Back to the Rising Stones. See, you told me to go back to the Rising Stones. I gotta go over here. I was getting ready to just go fly right to the Rising Stones. It's weird. The only thing that happened I can think of with the action bar. See, this is how it normally is. Like if it shows up, it goes right away. Give me 1 second. I got a phone call. Alright, sorry about that. I'm back. I'll probably be home somewhat soon. But yeah, as I was saying, like the taskbar thing, I don't know why it was weird because normally, like if I do go down, like I want to go to my taskbar, I can just bring the mouse like manually all the way down to the bottom of my screen and it'll pop up. But for some reason, I think I got a Discord notification and it just forced it up. It was just annoying because I know I had abilities down there and I just couldn't see what was going on and it was just distracting me. I guess I didn't really need it that much though. I could have just stood there and just did a normal DPS rotation. Oh, you have returned. Dare I ask how Ramu received your visit? He challenged you to a test of arms? It is well, then, that you have some experience in such matters. The people of both Gridania and Little Solus will be relieved to hear that the Lord of Levin has accepted you as the forest champion of peace. You have performed a monumental duty this day. The other Seedseer must be informed of your deeds at once. The Elder Seedseer will wish to hear from you. Pray return to Gridania and make directly for the Lotus Strand. Yeah. He's just telling me to go back. What I want to do real fast is because since I didn't get the race the other day, since Le Mans Ultimate was being buggy as all hell, I did want to see if there was anything, if it was going to work this time around. They probably only have till 8:30, 9 o'clock anyway. Then I'll probably want to have to jump off. So I did want to check at least to see what was going on race-wise. But I'm going to at least finish up this story. I'm not jumping off the story just yet. I just want to set it up to get it ready. If there's not a track I want to race, then I'm not even worried about it. Oh man, the background, that just flashbanged me. Real fast. I don't know what time these races even reset. Before I talk to the Elder Seedseer. So it's Fuji. I just missed Barcelona. That's unfortunate. Half hour from now is Paul Ricard. Half hour for Spa. Well, that's a big one. 2 hour. That's a long race. 2 hours and 40 minutes. Wow. I'm sure this one's pretty stacked since it's a new track. Yeah, 115 people. I haven't practiced though, so there's no point in me jumping into that. I haven't really practiced this track either. This is a gold race, so it's probably not even going to be a lot of people signing up. That's unfortunate. That's why I like what iRacing. It's the way they have the rotations done are a little bit better. Eh, I'll come back and check that. Somebody do iRacing instead. They could do a truck race at 8:15. All right, let's get back and talk to the seats here then. I would like to try LMU out because it's been a while, but it's just kind of the way they do the rotation just sucks. Just is what it is, I guess.
You are returned to us, dear friend, and none the worse for bearing the heavy burden which I did press upon you. Most glad am I of this. I am informed that your efforts to negotiate a peace with Lord Ramu ended in conflict. Pray tell me, what befell? Ramu made trial of you? I fear there is truth to his claim. It is the darkness within us that attracts the darkness without. It cannot be denied that misfortune follows man. For evidence, one need only look to the conflict brewing in Cartano, or to the rising flood of refugees. Our shared struggle against the Empire should have served to seal our union. Yet the ties which bind the Alliance strain under the weight of gross self-interest. As the scars of the calamity begin to fade, so too does our sense of common purpose. Yet now is scarce the time to forget our shared responsibility. If this new-sprung realm is to survive beyond its infancy, it must needs be nurtured by all. Eorzea must be as one. Yet I fear that dream is still far off. On behalf of the people of Gridania and the elementals both, I thank you for all that you and your fellow scions have done. Full oft have I been compelled to look to you for aid of late, and offered all too little in return. As leader of this nation, I shall endeavor to prove a more worthy ally to your cause henceforth. Lord Ramu has departed, yet the keening of this ill wind grows no less insistent. Voices of the forest, pray speak and I shall listen. What unseen evil begets this unease in my heart?
The ends of another daunting mission, eh? I'd hoped Lord Ramu could be persuaded with words alone, but nonetheless, I can only admire the adroitness, not sure, in which he responded to the primal sudden challenge, and it seems that Urianger too was pleased with the outcome. What say you? Shall we gather back at the Rising Stone and ponder the lessons of the day? Sounds like the what we're going to be doing. Back to the Rising Stones. So you said I had 2 trials left, so now that means I have 1 trial left. We gotta figure out who the next primal was that got a problem. That one was chill though. That was like the only primal that seemed like he had a brain, honestly. Welcome back. Word of your monumentous encounter with Lord Ramu precedes you. I would fain share news of my own, but Urianger's discoveries must take precedence. Upon witnessing your defeat of the Lord of Levin, our learned companion was struck with a profound insight regarding the nature of the Ascian's immortality. Let us assemble and discuss his observations together. Oof. Keep getting tongue-tied.
If everyone is ready, let us begin. Urianger, the floor is yours.
As all here assembled now know, In its final hours as our Order's headquarters, the Waking Sands did play host to a most unexpected visitor. I speak of the Ascian clad in white, Elidibus. Unwelcome though his presence was, his words that day did serve to confirm a truth long suspected, that the Ascians are eternal beings, to whom physical destruction is as a temporary inconvenience.
In the intervening time, Urianger and I have striven to discover a means by which the Ascians might more permanently be slain.
And 'tis my belief that we have found the thread that will allow us to unravel the twisted skein of their existence. In the moments prior to Leviathan's most recent manifestation, the Sahagin elder who summoned him was observed to undergo some manner of ascension.
I thought that's what you were doing the other day when that when that was happening, but I wasn't sure if I was just doing something stupid. What in the world?
The etheric readings taken by Y'shtola at the time of this transfiguration have proven most enlightening.
The disruption to the flow of ether was sudden and dramatic. So tangible was the agitation, I scarce had need of my goggles.
The significance of Y'shtola's readings might better be understood in the context of mine own, taken at the instant of the Lord of Levin's demise. Unlike the Primal, the Sahagin was not subject to etheric dissipation.
Before discussing our new discoveries, it may benefit us all to recall what we know of etheric behavior. Let us begin at what some might call the end. When we who dwell in the material realm die, our spirits dissolve into the flow of ether and are returned to the ethereal realm. In turn, the restless energy which suffuses that plane streams back into our world, giving rise to new life.
"'Tis as the heavens did decree, the way of all mortal souls. Twixt this world and the next do the ethereal currents swirl, bearing the very essence of life. Thus doth the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth continue unabated."
Primals behave somewhat differently. In order to manifest and then maintain a physical presence in this realm, they must consume vast quantities of ether, most often in the form of crystals. Though they may seem to live, their flesh is but ether given shape. Thus, a defeated primal leaves behind no broken corpse. Rather, the essence of its form seeps back into the land whence it came, and the energy of its shattered spirit is called back to the ethereal realm.
And there it waiteth, till next the prayers of the faithful do draw it forth from the sea of ether, to take their offering of crystals and make for itself a new body.
Which brings us on to the third group, the so-called immortals. They exist in a manner all their own.
Quite. Even as the Sahagin elder fell to the Admiral's musket shot, I witnessed the release of an ethereal cloud, which immediately took possession of a nearby minion.
A soul that dissipateth not upon the death of the flesh.
The secret of life everlasting and in the claws of a Sahagin no less. But I wonder, what would happen to one of these obstinate spirits should there be no suitable host for it to claim?
If mortal death entails a return to the ethereal realm, it seems doubtful that the soul of an immortal would venture there.
Nay, it merely withdraweth a distance, unto the shore of the ethereal sea, perchance, but no further.
Yes, it exists in neither this realm nor the next, abiding instead in the space that lies between them. The Ascians took control of Thancred by means of a crystal of darkness, an artifact which, if our theories are correct, serves as a gateway to the place I have just described.
I was hoping people had forgotten about that.
I am sorry, my friend.
For a mercy, the weary road of our research hath brought us unto an answer.
The Sahagin ascended to an immortal state, but he did not possess a crystal of darkness through which to flee this realm. Thus was he consumed by Leviathan. If we could entrap the spirits of defeated Ascians in like manner, and thereby deny them resurrection...
Therein lieth the path to victory. Thou art most perceptive, my lady. Only when we have trapped the bodiless soul within an ethereal prison can we hope to defeat its unnatural constancy. Thus might even an eternal paragon be consigned to oblivion.
These feats are, of course, far easier said than done. At present, we lack a viable means to entrap and extinguish an Ascian soul. Yet, I believe it to be possible. The pieces of the puzzle lie before us. We have but to put them together.
You just dropped a lot of info right there.
I will depart at once to convene with the sages of Sharlayan. Together shall we divine the steps by which our goals may be achieved.
I have the utmost faith in you, Archon.
Yeah, that's why I was being quiet. It seemed like everything was actually... They were actually explaining a lot right there.
Beg pardon, antecedent, but I would raise one final matter. Even now, a Sharlayan survey party seeketh to ascertain the fate of the students of Baldessian. Their findings shall soon be known to us. Though you harbor feelings of dread, I bid you surrender not to sorrow, but abide instead in hopeful prayer.
I shall, Archon. Thank you.
Oh shit, look at this. I guess this is that place in between. The Lord of Levin has returned to Aether, as was Leviathan before him. Ramuh's... what is that? Acquiescence was most intriguing. Inferno, Vortex, Crag, Whorl, and Levin all have now been humbled by the Bringer of Light. The limitless potential of man, Heidelin's servants, grows mightier by the day. Yet he prospers at great cost to his mistress, whose strength is all too finite. 7 times has the masses survived the rejoining, but their souls are grown weak and wane. Yet even as it enervates the ardor empowers our master, and that remains is the neutral. What is this? I'm getting tongue-tied again. I don't like when it has the black background. That's when shit gets blurry. Yet even as it innervates, the ardor powers our master. All that remains is to nurture the strength of the gifted, to forge the final key. That black background's getting me. And that is the task to which we have to bend our every effort. Divine seeds wherever wont to quicken in Eorzea's fertile soil. We need only lead men to the field, and by their eager hand shall a new deity arise. Well, there's La Habrea. I guess he didn't die. That which was shattered shall be made anew, and one true God shall come again. Now the matter of Ramuh has for the present been put to rest. There is something I would show you. It is the letter of thanks signed by the leaders of the Eorzean Alliance, acknowledging the Scion's tireless service to the realm. It mentions in particular the names of all the defeated primals: Ifrit, Titan, Garuda, Good King Mogul VII, Leviathan, and now Ramuh. Needless to say that there is only among our number that have faced them all. And though these words of gratitude were addressed to our order as a whole, I feel they were meant for you above all others. I too must offer my heartfelt thanks for all you have done. In the course of our duties, you have never once failed to answer my call to arms. You are a true hero, and Eorzea is much safer for your presence. Pray do not misunderstand me. I said safer, not safe. I know only too well that we can ill afford to lower our guard. The Ascians may be relied upon to sow chaos in this realm until such time as they are forced to stop. Why, even without their encouragement, you may be assured that man would foment strife on his own, and that is to say nothing of the beast tribes. Unless we learn to live in harmony, the primals too will return to plague us again and again and again. And yet, despite all of this, your deeds serve to inspire the people, to give them hope for a better tomorrow, and there is no greater gift. That we have the courage to strive for what might otherwise seem an impossible peace. We owe in no small part to the dangers you have faced on our behalf, and to the people you have won over the course in doing so. Our list of enemies has ever been long, but think of the allies with whom we are now blessed. Of the Sylphs of Little Solos, who wish naught of conflict, of the Alamegans and the Domans who stand with us, determined to halt the dread march of the Empire. And then there are the many unsung individuals who have gathered here in Revenant's Toll, honest men and women who seek to employ their skills for the good of all. Of course, when speaking of our greatest allies, we must not forget those closest to us, by which I mean our fellow Scions. Thanks to their many varied talents, our order is uniquely equipped to combat the far-reaching corruption of the Ascians, and combat it we shall. Your enthusiasm is truly heartwarming, antecedent. Given our embarrassing wealth of allies, I trust it will not inconvenience you to unduly if I absent myself for a time. Alphana, I take it troubles in Uldal no longer require your attention? There are some rumblings of discontent, but the air of simmering violence is largely dissipated. 'Tis to report such that I stand before you now. That, and speak with you concerning the new organization we discussed. I have a message from you, from the Ellet, you recall the refugee girl, the one whose parents went missing? They were found unharmed. She wished me to pass on her thanks to you. By Alphinaud, am I to understand you made the effort to remember the poor girl's name? I look forward to reading all about her in your report. I do hope you left nothing out. You have been away from Revenant's Hall for some time. I believe, might I suggest you put some affairs of the realm to one side for the moment and take an opportunity to reacquaint yourself with the town? Which reminds me, one of the Doman children recently inquired about your whereabouts. Yozen was his name. I believe he has some small matter he wishes to share with you. Why not oblige him with a visit? Real fast. Wants to do spa. Overrated. Maybe I'm not trying LMU out today. The next Barcelona is not for 30 to almost 8:45. So schedule. I don't really need to practice this track that much, but that's the problem with nighttime LMU. As you can see, there's just no people. There's 12 people total. Just over at Spa. Unfortunate. It's like I want to try the game out, but you gotta wait so long for like a race you want to do. Like, I just want to try Barcelona, and it's an hour wait. Like that's kind of not fun. Look, it's Mr. Degana. He's back from his adventures. We heard you were all fighting primals, and then there's some of the strongest enemies you have ever faced. I wish I could have seen you in battle. Anyway, we all want to be heroes too, so we finally formed our very own Doman Adventurers Guild to protect all the Domans. Oh, do you think you can train us today, mister? Maybe you could show us how you fought the primals? What's all this commotion then? Mr. Boulder and Mr. What is it? Colentin. Do you know that Mr. Degana here is back? I'm sure they've seen that. So it would seem. Welcome home. My companion and I but recently became full members of the Scions, and I believe our proper introductions have yet to be made. I am known as Hori Boulder, and this bokish fellow is Contentant? Colt? I don't know. You're just gonna be net. Through what we remain largely unproven as adventurers, we take it upon ourselves to instruct Doman younglings in the art of combat. I told you, Mr. Boulder, we're not younglings anymore. We're adventurers. Well, you better not be younglings or Anakin's gonna find you. And we were just asking Mr. Degana if he could give us some special training, if we were ready to hunt monsters alongside him, don't you? We better hope the Heidelin doesn't execute Order 66, that's all I'm saying. Well, you've certainly been diligent with your drills, but I'm afraid the fiends of Mordana are still ever so slightly too dangerous for you. I have a counter proposal. What if I were to cross swords with Dagonite in a demonstration of skill at arms, if you will? Alright, if I didn't know better, and I do, I'd say you were merely seeking to test yourself against the legend. Well, maybe perhaps I am, but what matter the motive when the children stand to learn so much more from the lesson? What say you? Would you content to spar with me? You are getting destroyed. Absolutely. We have a tournament. Come on, everyone. We must prepare our gear for the outing. Do try not to disappoint them, Have faith. I shall summon every last ounce of my strength to make of this a worthy contest. The field to the east of town should prove more suitable for our purpose. I very much look forward to our bout. When specials up. I might just have to race tomorrow. It was good of you to agree to this. I trust you are ready to begin. Very well. Let us not keep the younglings waiting any longer. Are you certain you wish to fight him alone? What better way to test my mettle? Pray allow me to attempt my first round unaided. After all, 'twas the hero legend that led me to join the Scion to begin with. Without Dagonite to inspire my efforts, I would not be half the warrior I am today. Your point is well made, but remember, this is for the children's sake as well as your own. Should it appear the contest will end too swiftly, I shall aid my spells to your blade work. Have you begun yet, have you? You haven't begun yet, have you? Up. Ida, what? Who are all these people? When I heard your sparring match, I told everyone I could find. Thought you could use a crowd to cheer you on. Yes, and there is still more to come. When I mentioned Dagonite's name, the reaction was quite enthusiastic. While my own popularity seems to be sickly shade in comparison, you best claim victory, bringer of light. Your burgeoning reputation is at stake. Burgeoning? Something. Well, our teacher won't be beaten so easily. He is a master swordsman. You can win, Mr. Boulder. No, we can't. We shall soon see. On your guard. Just ruined my cooldown for nothing. I didn't think I was gonna die that fast. Really thought they stood a chance. You have bested me. I yield. Gasp. That was incredible. He beat them both at the same time. Why did this close out? I was wondering what was going on in my background. That was in... Yep, I read that. I knew you couldn't lose. None can defeat the Guardian of Eorzea. Whoa. I'm getting pop-ups? What is going on here? Now I see why they send you to deal with the primals. I have much work to do if I'm ever to attempt the same. Impressive as always, it is a pleasure to witness the spectacle of your martial prowess. And judging by the smiles on these many people's faces, they do appreciate the hard-won strength that keeps the perils of Relum at bay. Guardians of Eorzea. Yes, that is a most fitting title. Do you recall when we first met? Twas the memorial service for the Battle of Cartano. At the time, I was yet attempting to understand this land of Eorzea. I sought to grasp the reason why grandfather willingly sacrificed himself to protect it. I shall speak plainly, my initial impressions were less than favorable. Dire problems abundant, and yet the effort I saw expended towards their solution was haphazard and half-hearted. I thought Eorzeans were foolish and childish people. Considering the shambles their home was in, I would not have even been surprised if some had chosen to swear allegiance to Gaius and the order he proposed to enforce, though Legatus' single-minded military invasion precluded any such switching of loyalties, of course. Were it not for a desire to continue my grandfather's legacy, I would have abandoned this realm to its fate long ago. The threats were too many, the nations too self-involved and unstable. It was you who convinced me the salvation of Eorzea was possible. It was you who taught me the countless acts of bravery that my grandsire sought to preserve was not the land, nor its history, nor any single nation. It was the people, these wonderful, oft infuriating, stubborn people that suffer blow after terrible blow, only to drag themselves back to their feet to face another day. Though he never put such feelings into words, I believe grandfather's admiration for this indistinguishable courage grew into a fervent wish, a wish to aid Eorzea and its inhabitants in charting a course for the future. A wish that has now become my own. I too will endeavor to take up the mantle of guardian of Eorzea and champion of these people who toil towards a better world. Our cause, however, is not a simple one. The troubles that plague us on a scale that could not be solved by the signs of the Seventh Dawn alone. No, what we need is to tackle the root of the primal threat and effectively counter the schemes of the Ascians. It is a new expanded organization that operates beyond the limitations of nations and borders. If you would aid me in building such an organization, then pray let us continue the discussion back within the walls of the Rising Stones. I think I'm going to pause here for now. I might want to do a race, I don't know. There is a race coming up soon. I'm not sure if I want to do it or not, though. Also, just kind of feeling tired, so I'm not sure. Well, only 36 signups. I guess not a lot of people are signing up for this race. No, the last one, wow, the 445 went out a lot. Yeah, it seems like when it hits nighttime, see, this is when I race around this time slot. It seems like it just drastically plummets. It looks like 12:45, 2:45, and 4:45. Pretty much earlier in the day are the big people racing, I guess. Uh, I guess for just the moment, we'll go figure out what Alphanol has to say. Guess we'll at least set up what I got to do next. Thank you for coming. The world shifts and alters. We, my friend, must ever be one step ahead of the chaos. What I propose is the formation of a new organization, a group that shall pave the way for a truly united Eorzea. Pray forgive me if I tend to tread over old ground, but I would like first to speak of the grand plan. Since the advent of the seventh astral era, the leaders of the three nations have been deliberating over the accord that seeks to bring the desperate forces of Eorzea together into a single entity. A realm-wide grand company, if you will. A military might of such an institution would be drawn from every corner of the land and directed against threats that no single nation could ever hope to overcome alone. Yet, while the purpose of this hypothetical organization is undisputed, the logistics of the formation have become the source of endless debate. And the longer these discussions continue, the more I shall impetus towards a unification draining away. Thus have I been campaigning for the creation of what might be considered a trial company. It will be on a much smaller scale than we hope to eventually achieve, but capable in the same manner of unrestricted operation according to the Scions. It is my hope that the successful utilization of such a force will lend momentum to the lagging deliberations. Also, being a primary military outfit, I mean to assure fears of its misuse by placing the fledgling organization under the authority of the antecedent. The Scions work tirelessly to protect Eorzea and its people. But as you yourself have witnessed, with the refugee revolt, there are limitations to what even we can achieve. With this new company under the Scion's command, however, we will be capable of responding to a wider range of difficulties without straining our resources or overtaxing your formidable talents. The goal is to propose an organization of those Scions are ultimately identical, a point conceded by all concerned. But before I can move forward with establishing this precursor to the true border-spanning Grand Company, it is yet necessary I visit the three leaders and gain their official approval. A tiresome and time-consuming task, which is why I would ask you that you accompany me on the journey and attend the business of recruiting our inaugural members, while I am otherwise engaged in bureaucratic formalities. Ugh. Alphanol, please. Thank you. 'Tis reassuring indeed that the bringer of light and his discerning eye will be selected by our future allies. Our first destination will be Limsa Liminsa. Let us rendezvous at the Bulwark Hall. We'll definitely pause it there because Alphino just screwed my brain up by trying to talk like a goddamn politician. That's actually a perfect place to pause. So this is where I'm going to pause for now. Oh, what is this that popped up? Getting ads in iRacing or something? Alright. So that's going to do it for Final Fantasy for now. That's a good place to pause, because now he wants to make his own army. We got to go talk to all the leaders. That's going to be a lot of conversation and dialogue. That's going to be a pause for me, at least right now. Well, the one thing I want to do.
Radio check.
Practice this track a little bit. Not sure if I'll race it. A little tired. But I just feel like driving at least a little bit. This is the 45-minute race too, so that means it'd be probably not over till almost 9:45. If I'll have time for that. The event in total will be about an hour. I kind of want to be chilling by like 9:15. That way I can get ready and get some food and get ready to go to bed for work. I wanted to race today, but I kind of want to keep playing Final Fantasy. Let's play Final Fantasy instead. Tomorrow, the weekend though is a little iffy, so maybe over the weekend I'll race because it's a little harder to find time to sit down and get a couple hours. Yeah, definitely more Final Fantasy, but just not sure on the weekends. The weekend's a little tough. It's a little easier during the week because sometimes my girl goes to her parents' house to help her mom out, and she'll take the baby with her, so I get a little free time to game. But on the weekends, there's no school, and generally she doesn't go to Philly to help her parents out unless they really need it over the weekend. So gaming becomes really tough on the weekends. But maybe if I do stream anything on the weekend, I'll probably just be racing.
The leader's just done a 37.55. Pit lane speed limit is 50 miles per hour. The pit exit's clear.
Oh man, I got no grip, cold tires. Oof, that's brutal.
Okay, Joe, we need to watch these track limits.
Yeah, I tried to push a little too hard there because I was going slow, but tires are still cold. No reason to even be trying to do that. barely clobber that curve and not get a track limit. I'm spinning. Ah, come on, man.
The leader
I
has
was
just
gotta warm up
done
at some point, man.
37.22. P9. Clear left.
Just not the pits. Get out of the way, man. Like, why do people do
Now
this?
delete this lap. You've cut the track.
Now watch when he wants to get by me, because he's a higher ranked player. I ain't gonna let it happen. This is when I get elbows out with people like that. You're fresh out the pits. You see I'm on a hot lap. You see I'm closing in on you. Get out of the way. See, now and then this happens. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it, brother. God forbid we just get out of the way, but no. Well, guess what happens when you need to come back through the way. So I ain't moving.
Pit exit is clear. Don't cross the line.
I'm here for some practice, and people just have egos. Like he's mad he's getting passed out of the pits in practice. Like you can't make this shit up, man. Finally got the tires warmed up too, and then he goes and does something stupid like that. Well, I don't forget names, so thanks for remembering. Let me keep myself reminded of you. I will definitely be getting in your way if you catch back up. I don't like that stuff. You're gonna be a dick in practice. Well, you know, other people can do the same thing back to you, right? Like, it just makes no sense.
P13. Watch the track limits, please, Joe. Car behind's a faster class. incident in. Turn 7. Looks like it's degrouped. Incident in. Nord curve. You think it might be Stuart? 10th position. There's an incident in. Turn 2.
Such an awkward corner there.
Okay, Joe, there's a car exiting the pits. Heads up. 7th position. We need to watch these track limits. There's an incident in Nord curve. It looks like Bruno.
Why am I just sliding like that? That was corny. Like, I just had no control of the entire corner.
Front left, 95%. Left rear, 96.
Just to sign up anyway. Oh well, I just want to get a couple laps in. That's going to do it for me. Later. Definitely a little too tired to be racing. I have no focus for it. That's going to do it for me. I don't know what I'll be streaming next. I think if I stream over the weekend, I'll probably be racing, or I'll probably just be off. But probably save Final Fantasy for more during the week, because I think that's more like the predictable times I can get on. But yep, over the weekend I'll probably end up racing something. I got to do something with racing. I haven't did it in a minute either. But that's going to be it for me. Peace out. Later, Jack.